We have agreed at our last video conference of the European Council to go forward in two directions. The direction number one is to have a novel approach and to renew the approach on the negotiations of the multi-annual financial framework, which is the EU budget for next 7 years, where we should find an agreement how the European Union budget can be an instrument that will help all of our economies to recover. This is the key element. The other aspect is the European recovery plan, and this is where we need to find an agreement. Coming from Croatia, who is a country that wants to join the Eurogroup, who will tomorrow at the cabinet of the government session adopt a plan where we have fulfilled all our criteria for the exchange rate mechanism 2, who wants to join the Eurogroup. We will advocate the approach of inclusiveness, meaning not only the 19 in the Eurogroup, but 27 of the whole of the European Union. Therefore, we expect a lot from a new commission that will come up from Ursula von der Leyen and Charles Michel jointly, and then look forward for negotiations in the next couple of weeks in order to agree on the mechanisms and financial means that will help adequately all the member states who have been hit by the economic and social crisis.
Prime Minister, your country has weathered the first phase of the crisis better than some other countries, very quick to respond to the threat by closing the border and installing measures. But now, as you come up to the key summer period, your country very reliant on tourism, about 20% of GDP. What do you think it's going to take to get your country back on its feet as it faces the economic threat from the tourism hit?
My government followed the situation in China very closely as of the beginning of the January this year. We acted very promptly. We hit hard against COVID-19. We had a lockdown. We had restrictive measures. We managed to contain the contagion. We only have around 2,100 people who were contagious on a country of 4 million people. 85 people have unfortunately deceased, but so far we are now counting in terms of new contagious people, new infected people, single-digit numbers. So today the number that will be released to the public is 7, which means that we have managed to win, let's say, the first half of this game against the virus. At the same time, we acted in a massive support towards our private sector. We adopted measures that have actually helped to keep the jobs of 500,000 people. When you look the numbers of 4 million inhabitants and 500,000 people who have actually profited from the measures of my government during March and will now do the same for the salaries in April and May, that means that government has strongly stood behind the private sector. Now, once the epidemiological situation in Croatia converges in a positive manner with our neighboring countries, Slovenia, Hungary, further on to the Central Europe, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Austria, or even Germany. And if we are all fighting the game equally well against the COVID-19, then we come into a phase where we can consider the opening of borders. And that is our ambition, to have the overall European agreement in this respect that would not endanger the public health of our citizens, but that could enable, not in the sense how it was last year, at least a part of the tourism to be active, and where all of those countries where tourism represents an important branch of economy can catch up at least with some economic activity that will help us to recover quickly in 2021. This is the idea.